Oh, this is awesome! The Raid 2 Berandal. Okay, so The Raid 2 is directed by Gareth Evans, not to be mixed up with Gareth Edwards, who's directing Godzilla, but Gareth Evans did this little film back in 2012 called The Raid Redemption, and it was this small, contained in an apartment complex, guns, lots of fighting, and it was awesome, and I've recommended it to just about every human being on this planet because it's awesome, and every single person has come back and said, this is awesome. And so, now, of course, a sequel is in the works. Now, this is an Indonesian film, so there are a lot of subtitles, but it shouldn't bother you pretty much, hopefully, because we're not trying to fulfill our stereotype of subtitles not watching it, America. This movie-going experience was one of the ones I looked forward to the most this year, actually, because of the simple fact that, you know, I loved the first one, and one of the first videos I did was on-set photos of The Raid 2. And that is my most viewed video to date, so I gotta thank everyone who went to go see that. It's got somewhere around like 6,009 views right now. That's absurd, and I love that it is because I love The Raid, so it's cool to see something that I really love and I'm really excited get these view counts type thing. So just one of those things where I was like, I'm viewing this video for the people, but I'm also excited for it, so I'm seeing it myself. This film takes that whole tons of fighting concept and it takes it out in a bigger scale. To me, the best way to explain this in an analogy is if The Raid Redemption is Batman Begins, this is The Dark Knight. Because this takes everything you knew and loved and it made it in a bigger scale. And Iko Uwais is returning for his role, and he's going undercover this time. He's going into a crime syndicate. You can see him in all the pictures. He's got a hoodie, so it means that he's edgier. And he goes into this crime syndicate, and he's trying to find corrupt cops, but he's seeing a lot more than just corrupt cops. And so, it's not like it's one set straight of just end credits. It's more a lot of story. This is Gareth Evans proving where he's like, okay, I made a really awesome non-stop action movie my first time around. I'm gonna make you an awesome dramatic piece with more fighting. So I'm just gonna up everything. This is how a sequel should be made. Visually, they upped it because it's gorgeous. This is one of the best looking films of all year. And I was just mesmerized. They have these beautiful, intense, slow motion shots where you see characters like slowly moving and just reactions to things that you wouldn't expect a slow motion segment to have, and it wasn't overdone, where all of a sudden you see like characters getting ready for something, you see these slow motion shots, you're like, oh, that looks so cool, and then they bust out into amazing action. And Gareth Evans continues to be hands down the best action movie director of our generation. Get this guy to do a Die Hard movie. I mean, for God's sake. Studios, instead of getting, I'm glad I forgot your name. Whoever did Die Hard 5, you know, honestly, I've come on record and said Die Hard 5 is not bad, it's okay. But you could make so much more by having Gareth Evans do Die Hard 5. Or 6, or whatever. He knows how to frame action. The camera doesn't shake too much. There were a couple shots that me and the person I was with, my significant other, we were like, okay, okay. A little too much shake there. But no matter what, I mean, he's filming absurd amounts of action scenes. This has one of the greatest car chases I've ever seen put to film, hands down. And then the final climax of this movie, it holds you at a level of intensity. You're just like, whoa. And I think it helps that he told this very, very intricate crime story. This gangland scale, and then everything sprawling down, and it made the first film so relevant, because this is ultimately the fallout of the first film. So you're watching it going, oh, so because that happened there, and that happened there in the first one, this is all happening right. Oh, that is cool, because it acknowledges the first one happened. I loved it. This film is honestly one of the best films I've seen all year. And it has some cool bad guys. I don't know who you are, bad guys, but those guys, get them in more stuff. They are awesome. I mean, they're sitting there and they're cool and collective, and you're like, I want that guy's coat. That's actually what I was thinking about for part of the movie. And then all of a sudden he just snaps, and you're like, that guy, get away from him. Kill him, main hero, who's awesome. Because Iko Uwais is awesome in this movie. I mean, put him in more movies too. I mean, just the level of fighting and intricacy and every little detail on how they were fighting and throwing each other around. I mean, there was about a 15-minute long fight scene of just non-stop one-on-one, just trading punches at the speed of darkness. I mean, it was absurd. They were just... And there's just so many shots that you can't help. Now, I don't normally like yell aloud in a film, but this film, I was sitting there and I would go, oh, a lot. Because there are so many things where you see like a guy take a hammer and just, well, a girl in that scene. Girls and hammers, don't mesh them, because this movie will teach you that. But there will be like a dude with a baseball bat and just BAM! And you see just everything and you go, whoa! I mean, it is absurd. In the end, guys, The Raid is the best sequel to probably be one of the ones to be made, because it improved everything from the first one. A couple pacing issues, but that's because it was a very different kind of film than the first one. So don't go expecting the exact same thing. It's a very different film, it's a very intricately woven film, and it's much bigger. And it is amazing, it is everything I wanted out of The Raid 2. Following this film from production stills, trailers, everything, it was so nice to see something pay off to that level. Guys, The Raid 2 is solidly a 99%. This is the definition of how movies should be made in the action genre. So please, go see it. It's in fairly limited release, which is why it took this long for me to review it. But if you can drive 20, 25 minutes to go see it, go see it. Find a way to see it. It's a great film, and if you haven't seen the first one, watch it, because it's not just your ordinary kung fu movie or whatever. This is an action genre. It defines the action genre to me. So I hope you guys like it. Tell me if you guys have seen it. Tell me if you guys watched my first video back in the day, or one of my first videos of The Raid. So comment below, don't forget to like and subscribe, got more videos coming to you.